Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Star Wars The Black Series, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Sebulba. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging. And here on the top we have the peg hook peggy thing, a couple of pieces of tape and nothing else. Maybe a little dusty where it's been sitting on the shelf for a long time. Star Wars The Black Series, nice big window showcasing the figure and accessories. Sebulba, he's 06 in the Phantom Menace subline. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there. 4 and up. There's the assortment number if you need that kind of thing. Hasbro print on the bottom. Small print, fine print. If I can hold on to it. Small print, fine print, legalese print. Made in China print. Symbols I'm not going to learn. And a barcode. On this side, nothing up here till you get down to the bottom. And then the stripe from the front carries around to the back at an upwards angle. Star Wars The Black Series at the very bottom. On this side, it's got some artwork. So Bulba being a Bulba head. And there's some pod racing going on. What? Star Wars The Black Series, Sebulba. A crafty, vicious Doug, Sebulba became one of the Outer Rim's most successful pod racers. Aggressive, arrogant, and not above cheating to win a race. And then there again's a close-up of the artwork from the side of Sebulba. There it is again in some other languages. 06 in the Phantom Menace subline again. Attention, especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Octoon. Don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. It includes figure and 2 accessories. Small, fine, legalese print, made in China print, Disney print, Hasbro print, and that, my friends, completes our quick look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And first up, we have this little frog guy. You know, he was hanging on the stuff and Jar Jar tried to eat it. And it ended up hitting Sebulba's soup and all that good stuff. But here it is. And, you know, it's a very simple piece. No articulation to it or anything like that. It's got 2 little paint apps on it. It does have a nice molded texture to it. I don't know how well that's shown up on the camera. You can see some of it right here under the chin, and then, you know, it's got some folds in the skin there, and then it's got some texture on the back here. It's got, you know, fingers and toes, or maybe they're all toes, I don't know, but, you know, that's a nice little interesting piece to have that made sense from the movie. So here we have his pod racing helmet. It's got 2 clear lenses in it that look to be separate pieces, probably glued in. And other than that, you know, it's got some ear holes, some nice texture to it, some paint apps here on the back, and, you know, again, it's a nice little piece that is specific to Sebulba. Now let's take a look at the figure himself. And I have to say, Hasbro did a really, really good job on the decos on this. Because, I mean, look, it's like at least the neck and the head. There's tons of paint apps. And I'm sure the head was probably inkjet. And there I go dropping stuff and hitting the camera. Because it's Digital Caveman Presents review. And, you know, these... It looks really, really good. Dare I say, almost better than he looked in the movie. And then, you know, some of that deco carries over to the, I guess these are his arms. And then his legs, he's got this overlay piece. There's a little bit of paint apps. I mean, just throughout the entire figure, it looks like. Overlays. It's got some silver right here. These straps and under. You know, look at that deco. It looks pretty good. I have to say, I think they did a really, really good job with Sebulba. And lots of nice molded details here in the neck and the face. I mean, the entire sculpt. And it's really, really nice looking. A little bit of wash maybe for this would have helped. And he's got a number tattooed on his butt. So there is that. And I mean, look at the eyes even. I don't know how well that's showing up on the camera, but they look really, really good. So let's take a look at his articulation real quick. I think there's a dumbbell. Yeah, there's a dumbbell up here where the head and the neck meet. So, and then there's a dumbbell at the base of the neck too. So he can look up that high, which isn't, you know, a whole lot. He can look down. He can look down that far, which again isn't a whole lot, but it's enough for this guy, I think. And then he's got a little bit of chicken neck. He's got waggle at the base of the neck. He's got a little bit of waggle at, well, he's got a lot of waggle there at the base of the head, so that's really good. He can do the full exorcist up here. He can do the full exorcist down here, so I guess he can do the double exorcist. So at the, I don't know where they call these shoulders or legs, but it ends in feet, so it must be legs. So he can give you that much of the splits, I guess. And then there might be a butterfly. No butterfly. So this overlay piece here is strapped in with pin through the joint, so it rotates with the leg. So you get that much rotation out of it. Single hinge and swivel at the knee, I guess you want to call it. So swivels around 360 degrees, and it gives you slightly better than 90 degrees of bend. Not super much, but a little bit. And then the feet are on like a dumbbell or that ball joint that they're liking to use now. So it can twist around and it can wiggle and waggle and tilt and all that stuff. So that's really good. There's no cut in the torso. There is a cut here at the waist, and it will give you 360 degrees of rotation. He can crunch forward that far. He can lean back that far, which again isn't a whole lot. And he can lean left and right a bit. So there's that. Now moving on to the arms, I guess we'll call them, because they end in hands. So it looks like ball joints or dumbbells, half dumbbells at the hips, or I guess it's shoulders. I don't know. It's hard with this weird anatomy. So they'll spread apart about that far, and with some difficulty we'll do a 360 degree rotation there. Now there's a single hinge and swivel at this elbow joint, and it swivels around 360 degrees, and it'll give you that much bend open, it'll give you that much bend closed. And at this elbow joint, 360 degrees worth of swivel there as well, and it will not quite go out straight, but it's almost there. And then it gives you that much bend, and then wrists swivel around 360 degrees, and they're on an up and down hinge, and that's on both sides. Up and down hinge on this side as well. So there is that. And let's put those back down. The way his helmet works is you just kind of try to fit it over his ears. And then straighten it up so it's sitting over his eyes correctly and over his neck there. And that still doesn't look 100% right there. That's better. And you can even see his eyes through there. Nice clear lenses. And this piece you just have to hold in his grip hand. So he's got one grip hand and one like poke you in the chest hand. 'Cause Sebulba. And then he goes, voodoo, voodoo, voodoo. And there you have it, my friends. See if I can get him to stand up, maybe. Maybe not. Now there you have it, my friends. There's a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have Star Wars The Black Series, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Sebulba, with Star Wars The Black Series, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Deluxe Jar Jar Binks, and Star Wars The Black Series, The Phantom Menace, Qui-Gon Jinn from the Duel of the Fates 3-pack. For our last set of comparisons, here we have Star Wars The Black Series, The Phantom Menace, Sebulba, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on Star Wars The Black Series, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Sebulba, I have to say, overall, I think it's a pretty good figure. Now, I can see there might be some issues, some balance issues, getting certain kind of poses out of him or something like that. But, you know, if you've been doing toy photography for a while, there are ways around that. But I think the sculpt is really good. I think the deco is excellent, especially for a Hasbro product. And the articulation is pretty darn good. The feet, I think, could have used a traditional joint. I think it would have been a little better than the half dumbbells or ball joints or whatever it is, the Indiana Jones Adventure Series style things. But I think they're reversed from that, so there is that. But I would have to say, overall, I'm pretty impressed with this Sebulba. And I know it's been a while since this guy's been out, and he's just been hanging around at my GameStop for a long time, and I had a $5 coupon to use, so I went ahead and picked him up just to see how it is. And you know, I'm not disappointed, and I won't necessarily say that the figure blows me away, but I think that Hasbro did a really good job on this figure for Hasbro. There seems to be a lot more deco on this particular figure than some of even the main characters. So that's a good thing. And I like to see, you know, the aliens are starting to get some love, or the prequel aliens at least are starting to get some love. So I think that's a good thing as well, especially for people who want to spruce up their display and you know, vary it out a little bit. And this is a good piece for that. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.